The week over in the Championship with some big games on the agenda, but who's going to take advantage of it? We'll take a little look next. Prediction video today. We look forward to match number 31 over in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button to keep out today with all things Championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here, boys. Under one Ruski, that's right, of course. It's been a bit of a shitter for Rovers, of course, last weekend, losing against Swansea City. Of course, we provided all the gear, just no idea in front of the net, of course. But can we bounce back with a bit of a zinger chicken dinner against high flying? Everyone looking at them, everyone appreciating a bit of Nottingham Forest this past week. But of course, for those two sides will lock horns this coming midweek. We'll take a look at all of it in just a second. A big shout out to my VIPs. They're the Patreons, guys. Thank you for your love, and of course, behind the scenes, I really do appreciate it. But anyway, we're going to jump the deep end, of course, recap the games that did take place this past weekend. Of course, kicking on forward to, of course, the midweek games. All right, then, folks, let's take a look back at the games that did take place this past midweek, and of course, the past weekend to bring you bang up to date with what's going on out in the Championship. Then, kicking on forward, let's take a look at it. Here we go. Millwall picked up a draw against Preston 0-0 in the end. Called it, lads. Called it with a 1-1 draw myself. Swansea did lose to Luton Town, but of course they saved themselves for the weekend, didn't they? Against Blackburn Rovers. Goodness gracious me. Huddersfield Town 2-0 winners over Derby County to move comfortably into the top six. Barnsley lost at home to Cardiff. City gave themselves a bit of a lifeline down the foot of the table. Birmingham didn't get nothing against Sheffield United. Blackpool demolition job over Bristol City 3-1 win in the end. Hull City first defeat under the new owner, new era, of course, to Preston North End. And Swansea. One shot, one kill. That's right. Putting the 3 points in the bag for Swansea City, despite Rovers dominating everything else in that game, including a red bloody card. So kicking on forward then, taking a look at of course, the state of play in our own prediction league. Here it comes. In fact, before that is a recap of the table. Of course, only a few games took place this past few days. Of course, been a monster couple of days, or a week ahead here, with Fulham still leading the charge. Of course, 5 points clear over Blackburn Rovers. We do sit second. And of course, everybody else has a little couple of nightmares, and I appreciate that. But of course, I don't think it's going to happen anyway. Rovers remain second. Bournemouth, QPR both have games in hand over Rovers as well. So I do anticipate them to climb above them probably this week as well. Meanwhile, kicking on forward, QPR, Huddersfield, West Brom make up the playoffs. Down the foot, of course, Barnsley, Derby and Peterborough going down as it stands. But Reading aren't out of the woods just yet, but they do have some games in hand on some of the teams above them. Take a look at our own prediction league then, shall we? Here you go. Take a bloody bow. James BTFC are great. 6 points on the board for them. Of course, past week, Andy Dagger, Hans Worst, Vinny Hong, Joachim Jakobsen, Diekbach the Great, and 37% also picking up second spot in that week as well. What's that done to the overall grand scheme of things? Well, here you go. Take a bow. Diekbach the Great. 33 points on the board so far for the second half of the season. Of course, he's doing very well there. Shane O'Donnell and Hans Worst make up the power three. And of course, big shout out to the patrons who are kicking ass and taking names. Of course, supporting the channel behind the scenes. Of course, they do get access to the full data. They know what's really going on behind the scenes, and of course, who is kicking ass and taking names. Take a look, and of course, the prediction. If you want to get involved, Cutley4/Championship is free to enter. Good bit of chance to get your name in lights, and of course, that kind of jazz. So here we go. Next round of matches, of course, starting in Tuesday. So be ready to get in amongst it. Of course, for the next round of matches, we're going to start right here at the top of the shop with Cardiff. They were taking on Peterborough, of course, over in Wales. That's right. Now, of course, these two sides scored played 10 times since 2002. 3 was Cardiff, 5 was Peterborough, and 2 draws. Cardiff come to us winning 3, losing 3 of the last 6, 50% form up against Peterborough side, who of course haven't won, have just won once in the past 5 in their 42% form. Of course, they are in the hat for the next round of the FA Cup. Mind, I'll talk about that in a second. Last time picture in Wales is 2-win for Peterborough way back in December 2012. It's been a while, guys. However, they also picture this season in Peterborough it was a 2-2 draw. So in fact, Peterborough unbeaten against Cardiff on the last 3 occasions. Of course, coming at you though, Cardiff did lose to Liverpool 3-1 loss in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, Peterborough did pick up a 2-win over QPR in the FA Cup last time around. Look at the odds though for this one then, shall we? What do we have? We have Cardiff 20-79 for the Richie 11-4 is your draw. 3-1 is your away win. Cardiff are your favourites, of course. Kiefer Moore no longer there. But I still think they'll get the win with the 2-1 win in the end. Kick going forward, it'll be Coventry City. They're going to be taking on Blackpool over at the Rico. That's, of course, on Tuesday. Played the 14 times since 2007, 5 wins apiece and 4 draws. Of course, Coventry coming to this, win 3, lost 3 of the last 6, 50% form against the Blackpool side. Just lost 1 to the past 5 for them, 58% form as well. Coming at you, though, last time around, the Rico was a 3-2 win for Coventry. That was, of course, back in September 2019 in League One. They also played this season at Bluefield Road back in August. It was a 1-win for Coventry as well. Coventry picked up a 2-1 loss against Southampton Southampton in extra time in the FA Cup. They are out now. Of course, they can focus on the league as well. Meanwhile, Blackpool picking up a 3-1 over Bristol City to, of course, keep their mid-table season going in the right direction. Kicking off forward, though, the odds for this one, 20-79 is your Coventry, 60-5 is your away win, and 5-2 is your quite tight for me on this one. It could go either way, but I'm backing Coventry, looks like, with a 2-0 win in the end. Kicking off forward to be Derby County against Hull City, of course, over at Pride Park. Of course, Derby got their own shenanigans going off on the field. Meanwhile, Hull under new owners. Is it going to kick it off forward with Shota Avaladze then, shall we? Of course, played 22 times, 2005, 11 wins for Derby, 8 wins for Hull City, and 3 draws. Of course, Derby does just 1 6 for them, 33% form, up against the Hull City side, who have won 3 and lost 3 of the last 6, 50% form for them as well. Last time I played, of course, over at Pride Park was a 1-0 win for Derby. That's back in January 2020. They also played this is at the KCOM. It was a 1-0 win for Derby back in August. Derby pick up a 2-0 loss against Huddersfield. Hull had the first loss of the new era under Preston, of course, this past weekend. The odds for this game taking place, of course, on Tuesday. 11-8 is your Derby, 11-5 is your Hull, and 9-4 is your draw. So Derby are your favourites here with a 1-0 win. That's what I'm going with to take it to the house. Kicking on forward, it will be Fulham up against Millwall. All London affair. Can Millwall be the party poopers? We'll see. Played with 8 times in 2014. 5 wins for Fulham, 1 win for Millwall, and 2 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Fulham. 75% form up against the Millwall side. Just 1 win the past 6. 25% form as well. They've got completely contrasting forms here. Last time played at Fulham was a 4-0 win for Fulham. That was back in August 2019. They also played this season at the Den back in August. And was a 2-1 win as well for Fulham. Fulham picking up a loss against Manchester City. Millwall picking up a 0-0 draw against Preston last time around. Look at the odds for this one. 3-1 on is your Fulham, 70-2 is your Millwall, and 4-1 is your. It's going to be a Fulham win here, but I'm just hoping that Millwall do us a favour in the end. Kicking off forward to be Luton Town up against Barnsley over at Kenilworth Road. Now these two sides have played each other according to my eyes 20 times since 1993. 10 wins for Barnsley, 7 wins for Luton, and 3 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Luton. They are on a bit of a kick at the moment. 75% form up against a Barnsley side. 17% form, losing 5 on the bounce, of course. Last time played at Kenilworth Road, there was a 2-1 win for Barnsley. That was back in April 2021. That was under the Valérien Ismaël era. Of course, he's now out of a job. Meanwhile, they also played this is at Oka. It was a 1-1 win for Luton. Of course, that was back in August as well. The home side, last time the home side won was a 3-2 win for Barnsley. That was, of course, back in 2018 in League One. Of course, last time Luton won this game at home. Was a 5-0 win back in 1993. Goodness gracious me, goodness. Of course, coming at you though, look at the odds. Oh, not the odds, but of course heading into Luton, pick up a 3-0 win over Cambridge. They come into this on 3 clean sheets on the bounce though for Luton Town at the moment. Meanwhile, Barnsley come to this 4 games without scoring a goal. Just scored 1 goal the last 5. That's their problem, of course, scoring goals. So I do anticipate a bit of a struggle here. 13-8 on is your Luton Town. 5-1 is your away win. 11-4 is your draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win. A 2-1 win for Luton Town. They'll get a goal, Barnsley, but again the 3 points are going to go to Luton Town. Kicking off all will be Stoke City. They're going to be taking on, of course, Swansea City at the Bet 365. Of course, Stoke still in the cup after beating Wigan. This past midweek, of course, but this game, of course, taking place at the Bet 365. Played 21 times since 2011, 11 wins for Stoke, 7 wins for Swansea, and 3 draws. Just 1 win for though for Stoke right now, 58% form up against the Swansea side. Just what are we looking at here? 2 defeats in the past 6 games, 50% form for Swansea. Of course, last time we played each other was in Wales. It was a 3-1 win for Stoke. That was, of course, the reverse fixture back in August. But last time we played each other in Stoke, it was a 2-1 win for Swansea as well. Coming at you though, Stoke pick up a 2-0 win over Wigan. Of course, Josh Major scoring on his debut. Swansea pick up a 1-0 win over Rovers last time around. Of course, heading into this one. Look at the odds, though. We've got basic odds on this one. The basic odds go in favour of Stoke here with the win. They are the favourites. Swansea are the underdogs, and the draw is in the middle of that one as well. What am I going to go with here? I'm going to go with a win for Stoke here, even though Swansea picked up the W. They weren't that great. They had their chance. They took it, and they ran with it in the end. Kicking off forward, it'll be Bournemouth up against Birmingham at the Vitality. I think, of course, played each other 9 times 2013, 8 wins for Bournemouth, 1 win for Birmingham, and 0 draws. 3 wins, 3 defeats in the past 6 games for Bournemouth. Of course, 50% form up against the Birmingham side, just 1 win in the past 6 for them, 42% form as well. Last time played each other, of course, over and Bournemouth was a 3-2 win for Bournemouth. That was back in February 2021. They also played each other at St Andrews back in August. It was a 2-2 win for Bournemouth. However, Birmingham coming to this on the back of a 2-1 win, loss against Sheffield United. Meanwhile, Bournemouth lost to Boreham Wood. I said Bournemouth lost to Boreham Wood from non-league. I said Boreham lost to Boreham Wood last time around. I said Bournemouth lost to Boreham Wood last round. At home. I said Boreham Wood beat Bournemouth 1-0 in the FA Cup. I don't know if you got that. Bournemouth did lose to non-league Boreham Wood in the FA Cup last time around. Coming at you though, the odds for this one then, shall we? We have a 7-4 on is your Bournemouth. Not Boreham Wood, but Bournemouth. Of course, 11-2 is your Birmingham, and 11-4 is your bloody draw. Going to go with a win though here for Bournemouth. They'll bounce back even after that shit show against Boreham Wood last round. Next, of course, is the game of the day. We'll have a watch along on this one, I believe. And of course, it is Rovers against Forest. Zinger, chicken dinner, of course. Pleasure 30 times since 1994. 40 wins for Rovers, 7 wins for Forest, and 9 draws. However, Rovers coming to just 1 win and 4 for them. Looking pretty shit right now, 42% form. Up against the Forest side, who look very, very deadly. 5 wins in the past 6 games. It is Stevie Cooper's boys. Last pleasure, of course, over at Ewood Park. It was a 1-0 win for Forest. We owe them that. In fact, just 1 win in the last 4 games for Rovers. 5 games, in fact. 1 win over 5. For Rovers, and that was in Forest way back in, of course, August under Chris Hughton, I think it was a 2-1 win. So, yeah, problems there, of course. Rovers coming into this on the back of that 1-0 loss against Swansea. Forest picking up a 4-1 win over Leicester City, of course. However, they did just lose to Cardiff in prior to that. So hopefully we can get that kind of Forest that shows up. Anyway, look at the odds for this one. Forest 11-5 for this one. Rovers 11-8. Our home form is good. 11-5 is draw. Quite tight this one. It could be a draw. I just hope that we get the win. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Rovers on this one and get back to winning ways and maybe keep our season on track. Kicking on forward, it'll be Bristol City up against Reading, of course, at Thrashton Gate. Now, of course, these two sides are played according to my eyes. 24 times since 1994, 8 wins for Bristol City, 14 wins for Reading, and 2 draws. Just 1 win and 6 over Bristol City right now. 25% form against the Reading side, who haven't won in the last 6 matches. In fact, 6 defeats on the spin for them. Coming at you last time, pleasure at Bristol City was a 2-0 win for Reading. That's back in February 2021. They also played this season at the Matchday. It was a 3-2 win for Bristol City back in August. 3-1 loss was Bristol City's last match. That was against Blackpool. QPR picking up a 4-0 win over Reading last time around as well. For QPR. Coming at you though, the odds for this one then. What do we got on the odds? Bristol City 11-10 on for the victory. 65 is your win. That's Reading, and 12-5 is your draw. Going to go with a 2-2 draw here on this one. Kicking off forward to be Preston. They're going to be taking on Huddersfield. And if you eagle-eyed, you might even saw my score right there. But of course, they played it 14 times since the year 2007. Wins for Preston, 4 wins for Huddersfield, and 3 draws. Of course, Preston coming to just 1 defeat about 6 games. 58% form up against the Huddersfield side, who've won 3. In fact, won 4, drawn 2. In fact, unbeaten though in the last 12 games. 83% form. They are the team to avoid right now. Of course, last time played at Preston was a 3-0 win for Preston. That's back in February 2021. They also played this season at the McAlpine was a 1-0 win for Huddersfield back in August as well. Preston picking up a 1-0 win over Hull, back-to-back clean sheets for them as well. Meanwhile, Huddersfield picking up a 1-0 win over Barnsley, back-to-back clean sheets for them as well. Smells like a 0-0 draw, doesn't it? Of course, coming at you though, the odds though for this one, 23-20 is your Preston, 5-2 is your win, and 23-10 is your draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Preston on this one. Of course, they got the form for them right now, but Huddersfield will have a shit show on the road at Deepdale. Kicking off forward to be QPR against Middlesbrough, another zinger chicken dinner, of course, over at Loftus Road. Now, these two sides have played each other according to my eyes 21 times since 1995, 9 wins apiece, 3 draws, of course. QPR just 1 defeat about 6 games, 75% form against Middlesbrough side, just 1 defeat about 6 as well, 83% form. Of course, coming at you last time played each other at Loftus Road was a 1-1 draw back in September 2020. They also played each other this season at the Riverside was a 3-2 win for QPR, so Middlesbrough owe them one, of course, from the earlier defeat. Peterborough did beat QPR last time, 2-0 loss. Middlesbrough, of course, going through to the next stage of the FA Cup after beating Man United on penalties, of course, this past Friday. Looking at the odds for this one, 13-8 is your QPR, 50-8 is your Middlesbrough, 11-5 is your. Quite tight this one, could go either way. I'm going to go with a draw, and again, doesn't really favour any of the two sides in this one. Sheffield cancel each other out, that's what I'm talking about. Another zinger. It is Sheffield United up against, who are in form, up against New Boy, Stevie Bruce and West Brom, that's right. Now played each other 27 times in 1994, 10 wins for Sheffield United, 14 wins for the Baggies, and 3 draws, of course. Sheffield United unbeaten the last 4, but get 3 wins and a draw. Up against West Brom side, just 1 win and 6 for them, 25% form as well. Last time played each other at Brown Lane was a 2-1 win for Sheffield United. That was back in February 2021 in the Premier League. Meanwhile, they played each other at the Hawthorns at the start of the season. 4-0 win it was for West Brom over Sheffield United. Sheffield United picked up 2-1 over Birmingham. Millwall picked up did beat West Brom last time around. That was, of course, on the 29th of Jan. The odds, though, for this one, 11-8 is your Sheffield United, 20-10 is your West Brom, and 94 is your draw. Could it be a new manager bounce? Not for me. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Sheffield United to give themselves a boost and maybe even make it into the top 6. We'll have to see about that. But that's, of course, my take on it. Be sure to get your own take in and on as well. Cutley4/Championship, of course, to get your name in lights. That's pretty much it. But of course, before I go, if you are a fan of EFL Championship football or League 1, League 2, whatever it is, and you want to get involved in content creation, let me know down in the comment section. And of course, I really appreciate that. And of course, I can get in touch with you, and maybe you could be sat here in this hot seat next season as I try to create my band of Avengers. We're still looking on the lookout for fans from other leagues and stuff like that. The Blackburn Rovers side of things is in good shape, but of course, the fans of other leagues we're trying to still improve the ranks on that. So if you are interested, let me know down below. Of course, appreciate any words of wisdom, of course, in that one. Or better still, follow me on Twitter and DM me directly. But until then, guys, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. See you soon for the next one, of course, whenever that is, which will be midweek. Until then, we're done.